I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Welcome back, dear viewer, as we continue the theme of Black History Month. You know, I've stated repeatedly that DEI hires in Hollywood are a bad idea that never resulted in anything creative. Proof of that is the woke horror train wreck, Get Out. No, that's not me ending the video. It's the actual title of the film. Why? Because I ran into Jordan Peele one night at a bar while I was delivering an absolute PhD level essay on what's wrong with modern Star Wars. However, I won't be gracing your ears with that today.
A good question for another time.
But keep that in mind, dear viewer, because it will be important later. Get Out revolves around a small town populated by good genes, some very accomplished good genes. When a race traitor and a melanin-rich boyfriend travel there, they encounter a series of mysterious events. The movie starts with Jamal, or whatever his name is, who's taken off the streets. These are the suburbs after all, and they have to be kept clean from minority infestations. We're then introduced to Chris and his girlfriend Rose. Obviously, I'm not too fond of this DI actor, but I dislike Rose even more. Why, you say?
Because she's a lover.
The movie also has a song that reminds us of its political agenda. And it's reinforced by Chris when he makes an issue out of race. The casting here also makes no sense. The actress playing Rose is pretty slender, so there's no way Chris would be interested in her. Cause we all know how the brothers feel about them chubby white girls. The movie presents the police officer as racist in a ham-fisted attempt to cater to the agenda. The writer probably regularly donates to Black Lives Matter. Well, to that I say, hashtag Black the Blue. Now, when Chris meets the parents, who we're told don't know he's black, don't respond in a certain way, it should have been obvious something's wrong. Rose's parents are presented as a type who would vote for Obama a third time, a scene which was probably met with thunderous applause in theaters. But you mentioned Trump 2028 and the pink-haired Landwells and soy boys have a social justice meltdown. However, if you watch the film in a heightened state of inebriation, you'll notice there's more to these people than meets the eye. Daddy Dearest has a monologue about how the deer should be wiped out because they're slowly destroying the ecosystem. Pay close attention because he's not talking about animals per se. When we get to the kitchen, it turns out the family has multiple black staff on hand, and Mum and Dad are immediately more likeable. They even make Georgina straighten her hair so they don't have to look at this abomination all day. Speaking of family, Chris himself has an absent father. Surprise, surprise. Missy has developed the perfect hypnosis method by making Chris feel like he's sinking, because we all know these people can't swim. These people are always talking about being excluded and how the man is always against them, but it's something they're guilty of themselves. Chris is surrounded by polite people with good genes, but he only feels comfortable when he sees another melanin-rich individual. I guess he feels like everybody hates Chris. Inclusion indeed. The film can't help but utilize some symbolism as well. Notice how when the white people arrive, they're all in black limos, symbolizing how they're behind the wheel of the confiscated black bodies. Not very compelling stuff there, Mr. Peele. Dre freaks out when the flash on Chris's phone goes off, probably due to flashbacks of all the mugshots he's had to take as part of the African-American experience. Chris's friend Rod is able to deduce pretty much going down upstate, which is the film's woke way of saying that black people are actually smart enough to figure out anything other than the shoe size of Jordans. Pay attention, dear viewer, because this is a crucial moment.
Rose! Rose, to your keys!
You know I can't give you the keys, right, babe?
This right here, there it is. This is where Rose becomes my absolute favorite female character, and that's saying something. She has gone above and beyond the call of duty in service of the cause, luring in black men, pretending to see them as actual human beings, getting intimate with them. Blech. No other film character has made a more powerful sacrifice. She is the greatest female hero of all time. Not Sarah Connor, not Ellen Ripley, Rose friggin' Armitage. She's someone I could definitely see myself having a beer with. Not start a relationship with though. I mean, she's touched black people. But we can still have a beer. It's eventually revealed that the white folk are abducting black people in order to transplant their consciousness into their bodies. Why black people? The movie hints it's because they're somehow superior? Give me a break. This has got to be the most absurd, tone-deaf, hyper-woke, pink-haired Landwell soyboy nonsense wet dream ever put to film. Why in the world would white people, even elderly and disabled ones, want to spend any part of life as one of
The blacks.
This is obviously Peele's way of pandering to the agenda by not only replacing the white populace with inferior minorities, but also implying they'd somehow be capable enough to still function at the same level. Another thing that doesn't make sense is the fact that black people fight this procedure. You expect me to believe they'd give up the chance to live in a body with good genes? They'd instantly have better manners, better hair, good credit. Hell, some of them might even learn to swim. Obviously, the process is still somewhat flawed, as a bit of black remains. Rose's grandfather is still running around, probably due to the habit of being chased by the cops after committing yet another robbery. The movie gets even more ridiculous as Chris comes up with a plan to escape from the superior straight white males, because the only way to make a DEI character seem competent is to make the white guys look like idiots. But the movie couldn't just have them escape and get out. Get it? He has to go on a revenge killing spree against multiple superior whites in a poor effort to cater to modern audiences. But then the movie wants it both ways. Chris is racked with black guilt for running over Georgina. He refuses to abandon her the way he abandoned his mum. The movie is in utter denial about all the black dads who, quote, went out to get some milk. It also obviously hates good genes, so unfortunately, the great Rose has to die. See you in Valhalla, Rose. The guy who Granddad lives in is even so bored with this film he'd rather bite the bullet. It's not enough for Rose to be shot. Ludacris has got to put the pin pans on her too. But then the cops showed up and I actually sighed in relief, because we all know how they deal with
The blacks.
Unfortunately, it's Rod behind the wheel. This is a warning that if we allow these people to infiltrate law enforcement, they'll bring an end to the population control. The two Dark Knights ride off into the sunset, ripping off every Western ever. A ridiculous end to an equally ridiculous film. Last call before I close up for the night. Remember when I told you I had a run-in with Peele? As I finished my dissertation about the state of Star Wars, I told some of my fellow patrons that the story's over and they should, quote, get out. Peele heard this magnificent Caucasian line and must have thought to himself, yo, it's straight fire. When the film came out, he could be seen sweating profusely during interviews because he knew that one way or another, I'd get back at him for stealing. Believe that! Hence this video. But I guess he can't help it. Stealing is part of his nature after all. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna adhere to my own nature and watch Predator again. Ah, Predator. I'll never get tired of you. Alright, story's over. And as this straight white male YouTuber always says, get out!